This is Kathleen from American College Strategies. I'm here at the University of Chicago. The day has turned into a really quite bright day. It was freezing cold this morning and really windy, but it's turned into a lovely day. We're getting ready to take our tour and visit with admissions. We have a group of counselors from all over the United States, and we're really excited to be here. We've been shown around the campus by two recent graduates, and we're excited. The University of Chicago is a powerhouse. It forges its own path with breakthroughs in science, medicine, economics, law, history, business, and culture and the arts. They're known for their over 90 Nobel Prize winners and over 12 Presidential Medal of Freedom recipients. The University of Chicago is where rigorous inquiry defines them and is really the foundation for research and intellectual debate. In essence, at the University of Chicago, you are going to receive an education that will transform you. The university's goal for its students is to not just acquire knowledge, but examine, understand, challenge ideas and assumptions. You know, when I travel with groups of educational consultants or even on my own, I get to ask questions of faculty and always get great responses. I like to dig deep into subject areas and find out what makes that university stand out differently from all other colleges. Sitting at the University of Chicago lecture hall and the meeting room full of professors was a bit intimidating. It's the only university where I felt the brain power. At the university, the professors turned the tables on me and surprised me by asking about my students, wanting to know, what are you looking for at a college and what drives you and what are you curious about? Just that interaction speaks volumes about how you will be challenged at the University of Chicago and how involved professors will be in your journey. Some examples of what you will discover or get involved in at the University of Chicago are its libraries with 6 different locations, the University of Chicago Press, which has been publishing books since 1892, 2 U.S. Department of Energy labs, the Argonne National Lab and the Fermi Lab, America's Particle Physics and Accelerator Labs, a Marine Biological Lab. Chicago is working on the reinvention of nursery school through 12th grade public education. They have a University of Chicago Laboratory School and the University of Chicago Charter Schools. The University of Chicago Global Centers are in Beijing, Delhi, Hong Kong, London, Paris, and it'll give you an opportunity to collaborate on research. There are multiple institutes, including the Becker-Friedman Institute for Research and Economics, EPIC, which is the Energy Policy Institute, the Institute of Politics, which is going to cultivate the next generation of public service leaders, the Oriental Institute, which is an interdisciplinary research center to integrate archaeological, textual, developmental issues, the Urban Educational Institute, which bridges research and practice. So what I see for students attending the University of Chicago is a place where you're not just studying in a classroom and sitting passively absorbing knowledge. You're getting to put that knowledge to work in the community and across the world. What I love about the University of Chicago is the surrounding areas, the lively Hyde Park community, 18 miles of lakeside beachfront, surrounded by 552 parks, wow, and 200 theaters, art galleries in Greater Chicago. Chicago is a happening area. University of Chicago is on the quarter system, so every 10 weeks you take a final and then you go on to your next group of classes. And while there is a core curriculum in 8 different subject areas, it only takes about a third of your coursework. So the other 2/3 are really things that not just core subjects, but things that you've chosen or that are in your major. At the University of Chicago, it's not just majors and minors that you get to choose. It's also specializations or interdisciplinary courses and joint degree options, and that's a real plus for you. Let me give you a few examples. You could major in Eastern languages and civilization, but you could specialize in Arabic, history, or Turkish Ottoman studies. Another example is in the psychology field. The University of Chicago is really the birthplace of behaviorism and empirical investigation of sleep and dreams. So while you could major in psychology, you could focus on biopsychology, cognition and communication, or developmental psychology. The University of Chicago gives you the ability to follow your path and your dreams, and that's a real plus. So when I look at the University of Chicago, things that stand out to me that I think you really need to think about. The study abroad programs, there's 60 quarter or year-long opportunities for you to go abroad and study. And actually, half of the student body does study abroad. There's even an opportunity where you can go with a professor and 24 other students and travel together somewhere and study. And so you're all in a cohort together studying for that quarter. That's an awesome opportunity. The other things about the University of Chicago that are awesome, and I know you parents out there are really going to love this. The University of Chicago meets 100% of demonstrated need. You only have to fill out the FAFSA. It is need blind in admissions, which means they're not looking at if you could afford to go there. They want you for a student at the University of Chicago. They will make it happen. There's no application fee. There's also no loan package. So when you get your financial aid award, there's no loan in there. They're going to give you federal grant or a school grant. No loan at all. That's a huge plus. And for students who qualify, it is 100% tuition free. And merit money is offered at the University of Chicago, and there's no additional application or essay needed. So if you're a student who's an inquiring learner, who loves to be surrounded by peers and professors that push you to be your absolute best, if you're a thespian who loves math, a philosopher who loves to paint, a scientist who loves sports, or a student of the world who simply loves to learn, then perhaps the University of Chicago is the perfect spot for you. So what I suggest is that you check out the website and join their mailing list and reach out to American College Strategies. From application to acceptance, we take the stress out of your search. We look forward to hearing from you.